Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR. Let's look at my box full of comics buyer's guide. This was a price guide magazine about comic books. That's out of print now. But you can barely see those letters. It was really good. Look how thick this was. This is CBG. That's what they would like to say about it. Issue number 1610. And to be honest, I think the counting, it used to be like a, well, it still sort of is newsprint in the middle. But it used to just be a price guide, I believe, with no articles. But I started buying these. Look, this is Alex Ross, does the cover. He does amazing painted covers. Here's Spider-Man protecting Gwen Stacy from Michael J. Straczynski. Stay back, Michael. He's horrible. I got a whole box here. I read these things back and forth. This one here, look, well used. You can see my thumbprint would have been. Oh, remembering Will Eisner. Passed away in 2005. There are great features in these magazines. And I kept up to date with what was going on in comic books while I wasn't reading them. And this column here, Mr. Silver Age. I discovered a love for Silver Age comics before ever reading them. They seem so fun. So this was all about manga. The manga explosion. Like I said, back and forth I read them, especially these first ones. Look at this one. And I didn't throw them out. I would reread them. Look how old. Oh, here we got. Oh, this must be Halloween time because there's horror comics. From EC to today. Yu-Gi-Oh! This one here definitely is. Man, this one's got some damage. What do we got here? This is DC. The next generation teen heroes come into their own DC universe. This is how I learned, all the reboots. I wasn't even reading the comics or buying comics, just thinking my knowledge from what I did. I thought, oh, good thing I haven't been buying any of these because it's all being rebooted every month, every other month. Oh, and I like this guy, Bo Smith. He had a column. I enjoyed that. All the articles are really well done. It wasn't like Wizard magazine. I bought those when I was collecting comics at the beginning. So Wizard magazine would be like to People magazine. And what would Comic Buyer's Guide be? If that, like a Reader's Digest. I don't know. Like something a little less tabloidy-ish. There's DC. This cover. Is that Raja Ghul? I'm kind of sick of that guy. If that who that is. If that was that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, celebrating 85 years of Smiling Stan. Oh, And this was also my favorite feature. Every issue they would have a top 10 favorite covers, and they'd pick somebody different. Oh man, are these picked by Stan Lee? I doubt it. So they're historically significant events from Stan Lee's career. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four. I would argue... Oh no. Don't include this one. I remember hearing about this. Stan Lee wrote some comics for DC. Like, what if... Is that what this is? What if Stan Lee wrote the Green Lantern? And then he just... Yeah, this one must be mostly about Batman. Oh yes. Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. Resurrection. He can't die. That's his deal. Oh, here we've got comics. Buyer's Guide. That's Elektra. That's a nice cover. Oh, here we got some fan favorite covers picked by Jeff Loeb. Is that who picked these? Yeah, 10 favorite comic covers. That was kind of neat. So Jeff Loeb. Oh, he's written for Smallville. He's a writer. I like that cover. I've seen that before. Superman. Lois. Is that Lois? That better be Lois. Who is the mystery woman that captured Superman's heart and soul? Maybe that's just like... Maybe that really is Lois. Maybe not. Oh, I like that Jim Steranko and his psychedelic covers. The shield up here. Spider-Man No More. We got the Silver Surfer and Thor. I like that Conan cover. It's like she's wearing a sweater. Is that supposed to be chainmail? Because it looks just like a nice warm sweater. Yeah, I remember this one. Oh no. It's Norman Osborn. This is later. These aren't in order. They were really thick, and like everything in life. Not everything in life, but like printing. Then it's like, okay, we're going to make them thinner. Going to charge you more, or the same price. And then we're just going to stop printing altogether. Sad. Very sad. But I kept buying it to the bitter end. It looked like I had highlighted some stuff there. What are these? Yeah, my Spider-Man comics. 768. That's funny. It's good they kept doing the 10 covers. This indie creators. Oh, there's a Living Rockets one. Gilbert Hernandez. Living Rockets. The X-Men. See, these have been a lot of superhero stuff, but they did focus. Well, they would, in the inside, they would talk about other stuff. Although what's on the cover must be X-Men heavy. But they would talk about all this stuff. I'd been collecting since, like, for a long time. There's a sexy cover. They're married, don't worry. I don't know if this is... Oh yeah, here they're talking about their... Myrat... What? Myrat? Path to marital bliss. Married? I don't know that. Look, I got this afterwards. I paid $6.99 for it. Oh, $1 off. That's good. Oh, they're talking about the Spideys. This is when I learned about graded comics. Through these. Oh, there's Cosmo. Oh, talking about the Cosmo. That's Archie Comics. So I learned about Cosmo. They only made a few of these comics. And this guy liked it. Archie got a head start in the space race with a short-lived but fun series. Cosmo, the Merry Martian. Fernando, I don't know, Ruse, that's his last name. Archie artist, he loves this Cosmo guy and sticks. Hides him into any story he draws. Stuffies, I don't know, milk cartons. Here we get another X-Men one, Wolverine. These are still pretty thick. I'm talking about the latest. Oh, there's a Spider-Man. Indies. Yeah, it's a good thing. Good stuff in these. And there's the Question. I had like 2 Question comics. When I was collecting comics, I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll collect this Question. Okay, here we got something other than superheroes. We got Sergeant Rock and the Lost Battalion. Are they going to be war covers? Where's the top 2? Mostly. Yeah. Oh, I remember this one. This was one of the first ones I bought. The Simpsons cover. Oh, there was a nice... Peter David used to always write. He had a column at the end, the last page. He's talking about the new Spider-Man. I remember that. Horror Simpsons. But in this one, they have a comprehensive 6 decades of America's favorite teenager, Archie. And it was around this time I don't know if I got them out of like... Anyway, I got all my Archie digests back. I hadn't had them in years, or maybe tucked away. And I was rediscovering the Archies and thinking, oh, who's this one artist that I remember from when I was a kid? And I was looking through all the old ones and trying to find his name, and I don't know if at this point if I had found out. I think just before that I found out. Oh yeah, look at this, just like Archies in the 50s, every decade. But in this, they have like they have a list in here of all the Archie artists. It was just like invaluable at the time because, I mean, the internet did exist, but I didn't have it. This was the main source for comic news. Let's see if I can find, look, just pages and pages of Archie. Yeah, Harry Lucy. It's my favorite. Oh, and this, oh my goodness. This is where I learned about, is this the one where they made like the religious comics? Yeah, during the 1970s and 80s, Archie Comics loaned its talents to producing a line of at least 19 comic titles, each one-shots published by the Fleming H. Revel Company and distributed through Christian bookstores. Printed under the imprints Spire Christian Comics, Spire, and New Barber Christian Comics, with most of the art being provided by Al Hartley, my least favorite Archie artists. I later heard that he was pushing it. He thought that Archie could do more for the kids. Like, look at this guy. And at one point, in like when I was a teenager, older teenager, I had this friend, and I don't know, Archie came up, and he said Archie, and he was dissing Archie like that, that he didn't like Archie. I'm like, what are you talking about? Archie's like awesome. He's saying, no, he's just like a Bible thumper who's preaching all this, and they're so lame, these comics. I said, what are you talking about? Betty Veronica, he's all about the ladies. And then he said, no, I went to my aunt's. I had to stay at my aunt's one summer, and they had some Archie comics, and they were all these religious ones. And then he told me about them. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. And I mean, already, like, I didn't care if he knew I liked Archie comics, but he didn't believe me. There's the Sabrina. I just went and got another stack of Archie comics at this new, like, sort of secondhand, really weird store. And one of them is one of these Spire comics. I was like, oh my gosh, you know what this is? Like, no, and I told him the whole story. I didn't tell him about how my friend only read that. Oh, the RC Racers. I also picked up an RC Racer. Yeah, I don't know, I probably got like about 15 or more. That's a good find where I live. Like, it's pretty hard to find some comic books. That was a good find. All right. Yeah, this one was well read. Ooh, maybe they got Archie covers. Top 10. Oh, here we got Tony Isabella. He's a writer, and like a writer for comics, and he also does articles in this magazine. So he looks like he's a fan of the old Cosmo, Superboy, and just your classic Marvel heroes. And we got the Challengers of the Unknown. It's good to see. Batman, the rainbow creature. That's cool. That's neat stuff. I remember reading that one a lot. This one here. Oh, this was when, like, Spider-Man was getting the Iron Spider costume. So I hadn't bought Spider-Man comics since I had quit buying them as a teenager, but I was like, look at all the stuff they're doing. Look at this cover. There's an Alex Ross cover. It's amazing. that's not a wraparound. Oh, Strangers in Paradise. Okay, this is, oh, they made like, let's reboot Spider-Man. It's the Ultimate Universe. They rebooted a bunch of them. Still nice. Look at how thick this one is. It's good stuff, man. It's a good thing to look through while you're working or what have you. The Hulk. This was when Hulk in space. My one friend, he was still buying comics. He told me about this. They sent Hulk to another planet. A bunch of the smart people on Earth. They have like some, Illuminati type club. And one of them was Mr. Fantastic. He told me, he said, they've all done a lot of thinking on it, and the world would be better off if they sent Hulk to another planet. And then apparently he was ruling the planet, having a good time, got married, had a kid, and then something happened on Earth. They're like, oh, we can't stop it. The only one who can stop it is Hulk. Let's go get him. And he was not happy. Oh, Wonder Woman. And this one's a little bit more than a little bit. Watered up. Ooh, get out your fashion plates. Katie Keene returns. We're not talking about the WD show. WD? WB. Who is Wonder Woman? Poor Wonder Woman. They have like such a great comic in the original in the beginning. Granted, I didn't read a lot of ones, but yeah. Could be so good. Ooh, maybe there's Wonder Woman covers. No. Ooh, a bunch of the Shield ones. We got a Wally Wood Dynamo. Thunder Agent. Backlash. Who's picking these ones? Timothy Truman. Don't know him. Oh, we got some Red Sonja. Little Swords and Sorcery. And Chainmail Bikini. They're kind of getting a little, these were cold. It's warming up in here though. Fire going. Oh, Sin City. There's Jessica Alba. Actress of the comic book movies of this time. She was also Mrs. Fantastic. What? Mrs. Fantastic? Yeah, I guess. She was her own woman. Invisible Woman. How she ever ended up with that Mr. Fantastic guy, it's beyond me. Maybe they're picking like, yeah, we'll take the safe picks. Something by Jack Kirby. I mean, I guess there's a reason they're favorites. When I read for the first time this comic here, the Spider-Man, that was a 3-part story. And I read it in like these black and white versions of reprints of the Spider-Mans, thick ones. I forget what they called them. But I remember thinking, like I was reading them from the very beginning at work. And when I got to that story arc, I thought, wow, that was a really good comic. And later, reading these, I learned that, yes, that was a very famous story. The Incredibles. This was the Pixar movie that basically just ripped off the Fantastic Four. Incredibles. Oh, look at that, I even fixed it with some tape. That's how much I would read these back to back. Everything that he has. So funny reading so much stuff about comics, but I didn't even buy them. I would look at them, nothing really appealed to me, and I didn't mind reading about it. Like, oh, this is what they're doing in DC and Marvel. Like, oh yeah, that doesn't appeal to me. You know, I might even say, anyway, like, oh, that's lame, they're starting it again, or this and that. But in this magazine, they taught me about other eras of comics. And these guys talking about comics they bought and their kids, stories. There was a story in one of these about somebody who found in the back of their closet these comics they took from a barber shop that they were reading in the waiting room, and the barber was like, oh, you didn't finish? Take it home. Maybe it was at his mom's house. And then later they found them like completely preserved, like Spider-Man #1. And he was trying to get it back to, anyone related to the owners, but he couldn't find it, so he had a, pretty pristine copy. Anyway, fun stories. Here's Jessica Alba again as Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four. I saw this when it came out. I thought it was real good. Hey, this was like some of the first superhero movies. Like, yeah, Spider-Man was out. But it was kind of more light-hearted, kind of like a TV show. They're back. The heroes return. This is like, is there ever hope? Peter David ponders. Hope for what? Comics to be good again. Is there hope? Ooh, I like that Aquaman cover. Look at this. Yeah, this is where we're starting to look how thin that is. How many pages? 80 pages, 82 pages. Why, comics? Why? I like that. We got some Archie, Veronica and Betty, a little Superman, the Hulk. Very thin. Is that a Carl Barks painting? Carl's Barks. Carl's does the model Bark. The famous Disney artist. Oops. Yeah, Spidey. His mask is always ripping and his hair is poking out. Another Spider-Man. Oh, he got his heart broken. Strangers in Paradise. The Batman. I thought there'd be more variety of covers, but oh, it's through the eras. I like this Batman from the 40s. Got Captain America. See, these are all thin. Oh, I know. I read some of this Daredevil. I heard about that guy through the Comics Player's Guide. Look at this one. Talk about damage. Looks like it was. Gone through some stuff. Magnus, Solar. It's in your collection. Yeah, like I said, this is when it went downhill and they got so thin. Well, there's still some thick ones down in there. I'll just take a look at these thick ones. I don't even know if they announced at the end, like, we're going under. Thanks for trying to hold on. Like, oh, it was sort of like we do have a spine, but then they just became spineless. Flash. Oh, these covers are getting less good. So. Yeah. It was a great, great magazine. Sorry to see it fold. But them's the breaks, I suppose. So, I guess I gotta put these back, but yeah, thanks for taking a look at these with me. And good night. Yeah, from 82 pages. From it was like 242 pages.